everybody, and welcome back to the Chan. Long time no see. I think it's been, what, about 6 days? I'm not wearing a watch, don't know why a watch would help, but it's been about 6 days or so, I think, since I last posted, which to me feels like an eternity, but I had so many things to do around the house, also in the backyard, because the sun just finally came out. It stopped raining for a little bit, so there were some time-sensitive things that had to get done in the backyard. But regardless, I'm super excited for today because I get to add this fantastic and sick looking figure to my collection, and that is Motaro from Mortal Kombat. Whenever I would face this guy, you know, after working your way up the pillars and you get to that guy kind of almost at the very top, when I got to Motaro, it would take my anxiety level to like a level 10, and I would get so nervous and so scared that I would call my brother and be like, Mark, can you please come and kill him? It's not like Mark was any better than me, you know, Mortal Kombat. We were pretty evenly matched, but it's just, I couldn't take on the responsibility. I was far too scared of this guy. And also I was so terrified of that sound he made, like those shrieking sounds. He was like, yeah, it sounded like a donkey. So a big thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending this fine gentleman over for me to review with you all. Ever since I saw this guy, I knew I had to have him. It's just such an impressive looking figure, and I have great memories of this guy. And you all know that Big Bad Toy Store is the place to get everything, so I will leave a link down below to their store if you want to check this guy out and see what other awesome toys and collectibles they just got in. Oh, and Pacha! I don't know what Pacha means, but Pacha! New Mortal Kombat movie coming out at the end of this month, I believe, right? I think like April 20 something. Surprisingly, I haven't seen or heard too much excitement regarding this movie. I just personally haven't seen too much excitement. What was your go-to Mortal Kombat character? Mine was always Liu Kang, and I would always do like this cheap like high kick move. I'd be like whoa, 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 and the person would be like stuck in there, and like that's the only move I do. So I'm one of those cheap players that, like, you know, finds like one attack and they just keep doing it over and over again. So Motaro made his debut in Mortal Kombat 3 as a sub-boss character. He's a giant centaurian creature with the body of a stallion, the torso of a man, these giant horns, and a long metallic tail. And like Goro, Kintaro, and Shiva, Motaro was actually portrayed by a stop-motion puppet to get their footage for the game. Motaro and his centaurian race are always butting heads with the Shokin race in order to prove their value to Shao Kahn, and to settle it once and for all as to who is the more superior race. Some of Motaro's special abilities include immunity to projectile attacks, can even repel long-range attacks back at his opponents, teleportation, and his tail projectile. John Tobias, one of the creators of Mortal Kombat, said that Motaro was inspired by one of his Micronauts toys as a kid, the villain Baron Karza, who was able to be connected to his horse Andromeda. And in its final form, it actually looks like a black robotic version of Motaro. And Motaro actually appeared in a movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, played by former American Gladiator star Darren McBee. So today we are going to take a look at the 1/12 scale Motaro in figure form, made by Storm Collectibles. So it comes in this very nice big box with this giant corner illustration of Motaro here, and on the back we can see a few different poses we can get him to do for us. So taking this guy out of the package, he does come with this nice backdrop, which I will totally be putting on my shelf. It'll be a nice kind of little backdrop to have Motaro in front here. I think I'm gonna get into collecting more avidly these Mortal Kombat characters, specifically like characters that I really like Shiva, Goro, Shao Kahn, Baraka, you know, all the really cool characters and such. Whoa, that is one of the nicest articulated pieces I've ever had the honor of articulating. It looks like it's kind of loose almost over here. I don't know if that's like supposed to be like that. Maybe it is, I don't know, but just notice that little gap there. So this guy stands about 9.5 inches tall. So that little mohawk of his just gave him enough height to ride the roller coaster. And just for fun, let's see how much this guy weighs. So this guy weighs 1.183 pounds. Okay, so starting at the top, we have those really cool ram horns with some nice texturing on them. We have that mohawk of his painted very nicely. And here is his face. He kind of has like this resting Motaro face, or you could take this guy out. Let's pop him out. Pop. And you can put his other head in, which is this kind of angry rage Motaro face. Love the sculpt on both of these. This kind of resting Motaro face and then this angry Motaro face. I think they did a fantastic job with the sculpt and the paintwork on these. I just wish his face was a little less pointy and supermodel-y. His face actually reminds me of this mugshot of that famous guy that went to jail. They released his mugshot and everyone was like, oh my god, he's so hot, he's so hot. And he was just like a social media phenomenon. And after he got released from prison, he got like a modeling contract and such. So this guy just looks a little too kind of supermodel-y for me. I wish he was like a little bit more fatter faced. The head can obviously spin all the way around. You can go up, down, but you do face the problem of kind of seeing that peg when you kind of move him a little bit too far to the side or a little bit too far forward or something. And I love his chest. I think it's sculpted absolutely beautifully. Like, look at that back area too with all those big back bulging muscles, and that neck is just so thick. He's got such a thick neck. And I love how it's rubber. I think that's so cool. So he has 2 points of articulation in his torso. He has one up here and he has one down right on the bottom where his man body meets his stallion or horse body. And so it provides for lots of articulation, lots of different poses that you can do. But bear in mind, you are in danger of, if you go too far back with him, like if you pose him too far back like this, oh, I just really hurt my neck doing that. You do see this little gap here beneath his rubber, and you can kind of see the inner workings there of Motaro. Same thing, if you go too far forward, you can see that gap again. And obviously, you are in danger also on the sides here, seeing that gap inside as well. So you just gotta be strategic when you pose him. But just bear in mind that problem is there of seeing those gaps. And we have those nice meaty arms here too. Lots and lots of articulation in that shoulder region. You can go all the way around, up, down. The shoulder can literally do whatever you want. We also have some upper bicep articulation. We can spin all the way around. We have a double elbow joint as well as this spike here on the back of his forearm. And we have his wrist here that can go 360 all the way around as well. It can go up and down, up and down. And we also have 3 pairs of hands. We have angry fist clench, we have skeleton skull holding hands that are perfect for holding that skeleton he comes with, and we also have these open hands. Oh, and I actually just found that he also comes with an extra pair of wrist joints, which is always a plus. Okay, so let's work our way down to that exotic stallion body of his. So it's kind of like half robot, half stallion here. It's such a unique, cool looking body. So that metallic kind of thing goes actually all the way underneath him, which is really cool, under his belly. And we also have the kind of little robotic part here on top of his back as well. And then it obviously goes to that amazing tail. So let's look at the horse body here. Horse body is phenomenal. I love all those veins that are on it, all the veins here on the legs. One thing I find kind of weird on this figure is his hoofs. How they have that little spike there at the back. I've never really noticed it on Motaro, you know, when you're playing the game, you're not like studying his hooves and stuff. So I guess he does have those spikes there that I kind of missed. But to me, it kind of looks like female legs. Like if you took away his whole body and you just looked at those legs, you'd think that it came from like a female figure, like she's wearing stilettos or something. It is kind of weird looking. I can't unsee it once I've kind of like imagined these legs belonging to a female, but I'm sure I'll get over it. Really nice like fur pattern and texturing here at the very top of that iconic little fur patch that he has on top of his body. And it's not just one color, you know, they do have shading and highlights in areas. And I love those veins that are sculpted in here. He looks so powerful, so meaty, and so beefy. So it looks like on the legs we have 4 areas of articulation. Oh, it just looks like a woman's leg to me. I can't unsee it. It looks like very muscular female legs. So the very top we have this that goes kind of forward and back like this. Then we have this upper joint here, which the furthest it can go is forward this way. Then we have this joint at the knee, which can actually go 360, or you can go backwards like this at 9 degrees. And we have that ankle joint that can go 360 as well as up and down. So the back limbs can go side to side a bit, and they can go forwards and backwards. At the first knee joint here, we can go forward and backwards. Again, one more joint down, forwards and backwards. And the last limb, kind of the ankle area, we can go 360 as well as up and down. So the tail here is all rubbery and it's painted this kind of metallic silver color. It's really cool. It looks so realistic. Like it really does look robotic to me. I thought that it was like, oh, it's a gap, it's loose, but it also allows for the tail to be able to spin 360 degrees, which is awesome. I believe you can do that. I hope I didn't like break it or anything like that. It would be nice if this part was just a little tighter, so I didn't see that kind of little little gap there, but it's not a huge issue. You can barely notice it. It's a really nice strong wire in here. It definitely holds its pose. So you can do like anything you want and it will totally hold that. So it's a wire all the way up until right about here, and then the wire stops and you can see it's just pure rubber at the top. And at the very tip is this little kind of spiked little black tip. Okay, so now that we've looked at Motaro in all his glory, or in all his gory, I should say. So let's take a look at his accessories. Bloody skeleton that you can actually use to do like a fatality look, kind of like, and he's kind of like holding up the skeleton. And the skeleton is actually articulated. He can actually keep a pose, which is a huge bonus. He's not like this little dangly Halloween skeleton. And he has a pretty nice look to him. And he comes with 5 pairs of skeleton hands. I thought it was a little overkill, but it's really cool if you're gonna use this skeleton for other things like photography and maybe some of your other collectibles. Like he would go amazing, you know, with some of your Predator items. So to me, I just really don't care too much what my skeleton's hands are doing. He also comes with this clear stand with a few pegs, and you can choose to kind of build the pegs up a little bit to have a really nice kind of high peg like this, and you can choose many different holes to put this guy in. This is one of those kind of fireball flame projectiles that comes off of his tail in the video game. Really cool looking little piece here. It actually totally looks like a fireball, you know, projectile coming out of his tail. So we can put it actually right here. Show if you want to. You can ow, I just hurt myself in that spike. Oh, damn you, spike. That really hurt. Fireball. And then it's like that. So it's like, pew. Look how cool this is. You got so many posing options, you know, for your skeleton, for your Motaro. You can use the stand to do things as well. I'm sure you can even use the stand to kind of like prop him up like a nay pose. You know what I'm talking about? So overall, I think this guy is fantastic. But like I always do, you know, with reviews, I want to give some of my negatives. So as much as I love that rubber top portion, it just kind of sucks how, you know, when you do position him in certain ways, you do get a little bit of gap showing, you know, be it in between his armpit kind of areas or in the front portion of his torso or the back. That kind of sucks, but at the same time, I don't care too much because I'd rather have the rubber than, you know, kind of, you know, no gaps. I really, really like that rubber, especially in the neck. It looks fantastic. And lastly, I just feel like he has lady legs. Like his front 2 legs look like lady legs to me. I feel like they could have kind of fixed this maybe with maybe putting that spike in a different spot, maybe putting it a little higher up or something, maybe added another spike or 2. I don't know. I know they wanted it to be like super accurate to the video game. To be honest, I never really paid attention to his bottom hooves in the video game. I was just too preoccupied with trying to kill him and beat the crap out of him. But I guess he has lady legs in the game. For sure, this has really definitely sparked my interest more so in the figures in the Mortal Kombat franchise. So I definitely will be on the lookout for more of those really cool characters that I'm really into. Whoops, almost went down. Also in the comments down below, let me know if you're excited for that new Mortal Kombat movie coming out, because I feel like there's not enough excitement for that movie coming out. So let me add some excitement. Excitement, Mortal Kombat coming out in April this month. Woo! So once again, a big thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending this bad boy over for me to review, because he is just fantastic. He's a fantastic addition to the collection for sure. And check out my video description where you will find a link to Big Bad Toy Store to check this guy out and also see what other new toys and collectibles they have in stock. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come out with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon. So thank you all so much for watching and stay legendary. Ow!